Hey guys, it is Mo and it is nightly Newsy News on this 23rd of July. And good evening, Wolfram and Brenda. We have a bunch of stories. A couple of them I did not, again, bingo card breakers, I think. Our first story is that a hydrothermal explosion closes part of Yellowstone National Park. I mean, is this where they tell us that they miscalculated on, the lovely asteroid that's supposed to be falling onto, you know, or coming by the planet really quickly, and it's really going to be Yellowstone that's gonna take us all out? I mean, I'm just figuring if we're switching the plot. Good evening, Jedi Jess and Audio Coffee and Nanny Goat. Uh, well, I mean, I'm glad I didn't pick this year to go to Yellowstone. Biscuit Basin in Yellowstone National Park was closed on Tuesday following a hydrothermal explosion, according to park officials. A Facebook post from Yellowstone National Park said the explosion happened near Sapphire Pool, about 2 miles north of Old Faithful, at about 10:19 a.m. Biscuit Basin and nearby parking lots were closed for safety reasons, and no injuries were reported. Yes, we did notice, Wolfram. Let's see. Park staff and United States Geological Survey members will monitor conditions and reopen the basin when they deem it safe. Hydrothermal explosions occur when water suddenly flashes to steam underground. They are relatively common in Yellowstone, the USGS said in a news release. Today's explosion does not reflect activity within the volcanic system, which remains at a normal background level. The USGS, y'all, at this point, if it says US or anything in front of it, I'm gonna need a federal hearing to make sure that you guys are actually using evidence and not just letting Leroy, take samples. Because here lately, I'm not sure what exactly government agents do, but I'm a little scared. Okay. Hello, Squid Pro Quo. The Facebook post from Yellowstone does confirm that the explosion, you know, again, apparently we're not going to explodorate yet. It was just a big old steam burp fart from the earth. My boys would be so happy. In other news, well, humanity survived cocaine bear, but I think cocaine shark is going to be a little bit harder to survive, especially given it's summer. Uh, Sharks off of the coast of Brazil test positive for cocaine. You can't get mad at me, YouTube. It's just the news. Also, an animal we need to make more focused and Twitter pated. A shark. Y'all, this is how Sharknado happens. Sharks off the coast of Brazil have tested positive for cocaine, scientists say. Marine biologists tested 13 Brazilian sharp-nosed sharks taken from the shores near Rio de Janeiro and found they all tested for high levels of cocaine in their muscles and livers. Well, yeah, but I mean, you get a bunch of tiny baby cocaine sharks together. I mean, sure, they're like terrible piranhas, and it does kind of look. Those are some Jim Brewer eyes on a shark. You know, sometimes I look at these studies and I do wonder why I don't get that money for studies. The concentrations were as much as 100 times higher than previously reported for other aquatic creatures. Well, maybe the sharks take the whole stash as soon as it's, thrown into the ocean. The sharks are like, it's mine. It's mine. The research carried out by Oswaldo Cruz Foundation is the first to find the presence of, Colombian marching powder in sharks. Experts believe that The sea made its way to the waters via illegal labs where the drug is manufactured or through the excrement of drug users. Yeah, I'm not going into the ocean again. Packs of the narcotic that are lost or dumped by traffickers at sea could also be a source. You know, Though that is less likely, researchers say. Sarah Novias, a marine exotoxicologist at the Marine and Environmental Science Center and Polytechnic University of Liera, told the Science magazine that the findings were very important and potentially worrying. All the females in the study were pregnant, but the consequences of, cocaine exposure to for the fetuses were unknown. Oh my god, we're gonna have people of Walmart sharks. I didn't You didn't even pay for your child support? Here's your egg, I'm leaving." I mean, further research will be needed to ascertain whether it's changing the behavior of these sharks. However, previous research has shown that drugs were likely to have a similar effect on animals as they do with humans. Well, that's great. Wonderful. We're making the sharks more agitated and smarter and more focused. Great idea, humanity. Way to go. Last year, chemical compounds, including benzozoe something or other, uh, which is produced by the liver after cocaine use, were found in seawater samples collected off the south coast of England. Well, y- y- when we get good morning or good afternoon, evening, Christine. I hope you are doing well. Uh, Colombian bullfighters are really upset. Now, I didn't know that Colombia had bullfighters, but apparently they are decrying the new ban on a centuries old tradition, and they're vowing to keep it alive. Okie dokie. Let's read. Sebastian Cazuela says the new law to ban bullfighting in Colombia by mid 2027 will not dampen his passion for the sport that he has been practicing since he was a small boy. Cazuela became a professional matador 5 years ago by taunting a fully grown bull for about 20 minutes and then unaliving it with his sword. I could do a matador thing as long as the cow ended up alive at the end. I mean, go ahead. Irritate a bull for 20 minutes. I really don't care. It's not my sport, not my jam. But dress up in your bedazzled outfit and go to town. It's the whole dying at the end that people really have a problem with. I understand tradition and all that, but could we have a compromise where you get to keep your bedazzled pants and dance around with a bull for 20 minutes? And then, like, you both go home happy? I know, I know. Weird solutions from a person who's not even culturally linked. It is a ceremony called an alternavata or navata. Now the 33-year-old says he will struggle to make a living as a bullfighter. Well, yes. Yes, if they outlaw bullfighting, you will struggle to make a living. Okie dokie. Uh, but vows to do his best to stay in the centuries old tradition. I will continue to participate in bullfights outside of Colombia, he said. And once bullfights are illegal in Colombia, we will stage them here anyway. Sir, sir, do not confess your crimes on national newspapers. Just throwing this one out there. If you are going to have illegal underground bullfights, don't tell the newspaper. I mean, I feel bad. I know it's a traditional sport and it's not my sport, so I'm trying not to judge harshly. But yeah, it just seems like if you want to have this sort of same feel, just to end the part that everyone gets upset about at the end, and you can still have some of those things, but not all of them. I will die a bullfighter, he said. Legislation signed Monday by President Gustavo Pietro places restrictions on bullfighting for a 3-year transitional period, then imposes a full ban by mid 2027. It also orders the government to turn more than a dozen bullfighting arenas into concert halls and exhibition venues. The bill was approved earlier this year by Colombia's Congress after a heated debate. It removes Colombia from a short list of countries where bullfighting is still legal, including Spain, France, Portugal, Mexico, Venezuela, Ecuador, and Peru, though the bill does not spell out sanctions for those who continue to stage bullfights. Okie dokie. Well, it seems like you made a law and then you're like, meh, look, we made a law. Recent polls conducted across Colombia indicate that bullfighting has lost popularity in the South American country, and rights activists have widely celebrated the government's efforts to end the endeavor they describe as cruel and out of touch with modern values. Bullfighting aficionados and those who make a living from the sport argue that the government is threatening the cultural freedoms of minorities. Ooh, ooh, when that word is used against you. Yikes. The bill has especially worried matadors. Well, yeah, probably. I mean, I'm sure plumbers aren't too worried about this. Their assistants and cattle ranchers who specialize in rearing fighting bulls, whose future is now uncertain. For me, bullfighting is like loving someone. I'm going to need to talk to your wife, sir. And now we're banned from that, said Nicholas Nosa, a 7-year-old retired matador who runs a bullfighting academy in Chocochile, a town of less than 10,000 people surrounded by grazing fields and forested mountains. In the town's small bullfighting arenas, students practice with their capes using a cart topped with real horns that an instructor pushes towards them. The bullfighting academy has trained more than 100 youths, according to NOSA, including the matador that's been we've been following in the story, to study their crafts as teenagers and young people. But the legislation is also already forcing the academy to make some changes. Classes have been suspended for children under 14 since May, when legislators approved the bill. Now the academy's leaders must decide if they should continue training a younger cadre of bullfighters in a country where the activity will soon be banned. This is especially painful for my generation, Nosa said, because we have witnessed the greatness of bullfighting. We represent the hero of flesh and blood who dies for real if he must, just like the bull just also gets killed. Again, I don't understand why they have to die at the end. I don't get it. And good evening, Celestial Force, but look, it's not my sport. Animal rights activists have been asking Congress to implement a ban for more than 2 decades, often losing key votes by narrow margins. Andre Padilla, a senator for Colombia's Green Party, who has long been a champion of animal rights, believe views about spectacles involving animals have changed. She said passing anti-bullfighting legislation was finally possible because Colombia's left-wing government put pressure on many of the legislators to approve it. Padilla questioned the arguments of the bullfighting aficionados who praise the bulls for their bravery and say their destiny is to die with honor in the ring. I don't understand how you can raise an animal to see it destroyed in a public event. Well, 70. 70. He is 70. Yeah. Let's see here. I mean, I get that. I have no problem eating a hamburger. If you don't want to eat a hamburger because you like, cow's feelings, that is fine. Just don't sit and lecture me if I would like to eat a hamburger, please. Colombia's president had attempted to ban bullfights since 2012, when he was the mayor of Bogota and revoked a contract guaranteed to promoters to use the city's bull ring, which can seat about 14,000 people. Bullfights stopped in Bogota while Pietro was a mayor, but then resumed after his term ended, thanks to a court decision saying that shutting them down violated the rights of aficionados to express their cultural heritage. Still, supporters of bullfighting continue to face barriers in Bogota and other major cities like uh, Medellin through Cali, Colombia's third largest city. Uh, they are slowly closing them down. The last major bullfight in Bogota was in March 2020, just before large gatherings were banned because of the, you know, unidentified illness of unknown origins. So there you go. I guess in Colombia, you will no longer see bullfights if you go after 2027. So if you want to see them, go before that. If you don't, then, just wait till after 2027. Although it doesn't seem like if people continue to do them just of their own volition, they have any sort of, penalties in the law. But when has that ever stopped a government from tormenting you for not taking their laws seriously? So I wouldn't try it in Colombia. But there you go. And redemption may be possible, but some people may be exempt. I don't know. A man commits his 220th offense 2 days after a jail term. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, sir, you're just acclimatized to jail at this point. A man who has amassed more than 200 criminal offenses was back in court just 48 hours after leaving jail. Andrew John Jason Bell, 47, appeared before magistrates in Carlisle to admit to a public order offense for threatening to batter a hotel manager in the city. Well, some people just cannot do right. It's a scotch broken. He was fined $140 in order to pay prosecution costs and a mandatory surcharge for what would be his 220th offense, committed on the 27th of July. Well, he's got to have goals, I guess. His previous court appearance was in April when he was jailed for threatening a bus driver and abusing a man with racial abuse. Interesting. During a hearing on Monday, magistrates heard Bell has been sitting drinking on the steps of Carlisle's Station Hotel in Court Square from about 8 on Saturday, just 2 days after being released from jail. The hotel manager alerted police to the presence of a drunken man in front of their hotel, and he was asked to move on, and he did so initially before returning back to the hotel. I guess it just had the best, sidewalk ever. Using the hotel intercom, Bell asked if he could use the toilet inside and was refused entry, said prosecutor Peter Bardsley. He started shouting, "Who do you think you are, some sort of hard man?" the court was told. Bell also told the manager, "I'll batter you." The prosecutor said, Mr. Bardsley told the court. He is then seen outside putting his arms up as if inviting the manager to have a fight with him. Now, people from the UK, I'm sure you know this, but there are like CCTVs behind every corner. I would definitely recommend against, public shenanigans, because the cops will just say, "Was this you?" And you'll be like, "No, this is Inception. Nothing is as it seems. The spoon does not exist. Is any of this Neo Jedi stuff working?" The manager later stated he was concerned Bell may carry out his threats if a guest opened the hotel door. He added, "Throughout the incident, I felt harassed, alarmed, and in fear." Well, there you go. Kate Hunter, mitigating, said Bell had been released from custody last Thursday, had slept rough that night, and had now secured a hostel accommodation. Well, there you go. This is an opportunity for Mr. Bell to show the courts, police, and public he can abide and be a good citizen. No, ma'am, that was 175 chances ago, was his chance. This is now like you get to go to Mars. We are tired of of having to deal with you. In, breaking news, looks like the father of the gentleman who was involved Saturday the 13th has spoken out for the first time. So, Thomas Matthew Crook's father has spoken out, and let's see what he has to say. I can imagine that this has all been insane for him, but let's see what we are getting from him since we might as well get answers from somebody in about these things. The father of the, gentleman who was, going to take a shot on the 13th has revealed the family is just trying to take care of themselves as he stepped out in public for the first time since the shooting. Matthew Bryan Crooks, 53, made remarks as he was spotted leaving the grocery store on Monday, Fox News reported. Okay, y'all, he is just trying to go to the grocery store. I know we all want answers, but he's also, and I get it, he lost his son. I do not know. I think there might be a possibility that it could happen. But I will say that their negligence is not as far-reaching as the police because if they truly did call early in the morning to say, "Hey, our son's acting a little squeaky, and we're a little scared," they did alert the police officers allegedly as soon as they knew. So that culpability, in my opinion, and only my opinion, I think falls on law enforcement and the Secret Service for not taking that information and collating it. Good evening, Slidey Pie. We just want to try to take care of ourselves right now. Please just give us our space, Crooks said as he loaded bagloads of items into his car. We're going to release a statement when our legal counsel advises us to, so until then, we have no comment. It marks the first time the dad has spoken out since he didn't really speak out. You guys are just hard up for a story since no answers are coming out, so you had to bother this man while he was at daggone Walmart trying to shop for his family. I mean, it's a bit irritating that, journalists can't be at least a little bit human. And what in the actual heck? And my sons better not ask for this because it's a no. You will not be getting a perm. Yes, that's right. I said boys are out there asking their parents for perms. 1980s, let your soul glow. I kid you not, you guys. I don't know why. What is wrong? Desperate teen boys are begging for the viral broccoli cut and making parents pay for pricey perms. Oh, dear Lord. Why? A hot new coif has cropped up on social media. Teen boys are propagating across hair salons for perms to recreate the viral broccoli cut, characterized by a bounty of bouncy curls atop the noggin. TikTok's trending do is designed to resemble, uh, well, broccoli. Because, I always want my hair to look like broccoli or ramen noodles when I wake up. I always wanted curly hair, 13-year-old Nico Afferback, whose hairstyles were limited due to his stick-straight hair, told the Post. This boy sat and got some daggone perm. Do you know how bad perm stuff smells? Good Lord. When the West Orange, New Jersey teen began to see influencers and schoolmates alike with freshly permed hair, he asked his mom, Andrea Duran, to take him to a salon. Despite her apprehension over the chemically altered process, stylists reassured her that the style is currently one of the most popular among teenage boys. Well, I guess it's better than the Justin Bieber look. Uh, He's been asking me so many times, Durand 38 told the Post, adding it looked really good on her son, and I noticed it gave him a lot of confidence. Oh, it's like a push-up bra for boys. Okay, I get it. Uh, Unhung hero, they never left in my town. They've never left. The mullet, the boy cut, the rat tail, they're all still here. That'll be coming next, I'm sure. The curly mullet. I can't wait. The haircut has proliferated on social media as seen on the likes of Gen Z It Boys, Bryce Hall, Josh Richard, Jacob Sartorius, and even Kourtney Kardashian's son Mason Disick. I don't know. I don't know any of the Kardashians. And will soon be on the big screen. Set photos from James Gunn's forthcoming Superman show shows Clark Kent actor David Cornsweet with a trendy cut, signaling a seismic shift in hair trends among young men. This is the first time I've ever seen Gen Z fashion, not explicitly Gen Z character, but an iconic pop culture figure, media studies professor Matthew Ellis, who has noticed the cut in his classrooms, told GQ. When I even saw Superman has the cut, I was like, all right, something has happened. We've crossed a threshold. The craze for curls has gotten so over the top that one New York barbershop, Harari, recently stopped offering perms despite receiving multiple requests for the procedure. What in the fresh moldering hell is this crap? No. No, this is Clark Kent with Soul Glow. What am I looking at? You guys, tell me I'm not wrong. This looks ridiculous on Clark Kent. Am I I know. I can't imagine. Again, all of the no. This no, not on Superman. I'm gonna have to. Okay on him. Yes, Superman. No, I. That looks like a bad hairpiece in the front, and then the back is stick straight. There's something wrong with that haircut. This looks cute. I. Oh Lord. Oh dear Lord. What is going on in this? Call it broccoli ice cream or llama fur haircut, but the laughable comparisons haven't deterred Zoomer teens from demanding the style from their barbers, some saving up hundreds of dollars to splurge on a perm to achieve it. Similar to Afrobeck, 17-year-old Brooks Eddy wanted something different than just his usual short, straight hair. He told New York Magazine's The Cut, so he begged his mom to fork over $70 for a perm. It started getting long last year, but it was really still straight, so I got natural curls, he explained, vying for tousled waves over tight coils. Quinn Goncalves, 11, finally convinced his mom to shell out $40 for a perm after seeing his friends at school with chemically curled hair. My friends thought it was so cool, he told The Cut. Other young men see a perm as a shortcut to style, such as Zach Probst, who is 13. Okay, Zach doesn't even take a shower half the doggone time with soap, allegedly. Let's be honest. And his 13-year or his younger brother, Levi, 10, their mom gave them an ultimatum: perm their long locks out of their eyes or buzz it off. So they chose a perm. This looks better, Mom. This is what looks better than. Okay, I get up. I give up. I just, I just don't get it, and that's okay because I'm all right. She says, I want your hair out of your eyes so she can see us, Levi told The Cut, adding that their mom helps to style it. For low maintenance tweens, all they have to do in the morning is take a shower, let it dry, and it looks good. As someone who loves curly hair, I totally get it. Clayton Hawkins, a celebrity stylist based in Los Angeles, told GQ. I think one of the reasons guys like it so much is that if your hair is permed, you can basically just let it air dry and do its thing. There's no need to style. The style's breeziness is a relief for 12-year-old Charlie Weiss, who would often fuss with his hair for up to an hour every day to get it perfect. With the perm which he saved up $150 to purchase himself, he just spritzes it with some saltwater spray and air dries. I you guys, I I don't see it. I was trying to replicate Dylan Latham, who I guess is a person. I use hot rollers all the time. I love hot rollers. I mean, but yeah, don't give me a perm. Uh, is credited with promoting the poofy hair move. The Virginia-based creator is first permed his hair in 2020 after losing a bet with his followers and has been getting perms ever since, despite criticisms at first. I actually got made fun of a lot by everyone in my school. I was the perm kid, but after the video blew up, I'd gone viral, then people didn't really say much. Latham, who now rakes in an estimated six figures per month, selling his own sea salt spray for your hair. And then I saw kids around my school start popping up with it. Oh no, this poor kid had to do it at home. Oh, no. You're like, "Mom, we can go to the salon." And she's like, "No, your Auntie Carlene does hair. You will sit in my living room. We are not spending $75." And you end up with the oldest dish towel around your shoulders. Sweetie, we all have pictures like that. Well, not like that, but we all have pictures of our parents doing our hair, and while Eddie is content with his stylish do now, he also acknowledges it's likely a product of the time, blaming the trend of or it on a trend cycle of social media. A lot of people were exposed on it or to it on social media, so like, oh yeah, that looks good. But we'll probably look back on this and it'll be like soul patches of the 2000s or mullets in the 90s. Yes, yes, it will. And yes, just like me, Squid Pro Quo, although even though I try, my counter still ends up looking like a chaos demon. In other news, what is Teflon flu? What's the next thing to be scared of? I don't know, but let's let the news tell us, because I'm sure it is probably something crazy. Everything to know about the illness you can get in your own kitchen. Well, depending on who cooks, it could probably just be that you didn't finish, pork chops are not meant to be served rare. Just a friendly tip. You don't want to be stuck with this. Last year, U.S. poison centers reported 267 suspected cases of polymer fume fever, a rare flu-like illness. Okay, 267 pages. We've got like 973 newspaper or news headlines, and this is what you decided to devote an article on? Okie dokie. Known as Teflon Flu, a nod to the trademark name of the popular nonstick coating, in 2023, cases are believed to be among the highest reported since the 2000s, according to the Washington Post. Here's everything you need to know about this unusual condition. Will it give you superpowers? Probably not. Teflon and many other nonstick pans are made with PTFE. I am not even trying to say that name, which falls into a larger category of PFAS. These are known as forever chemicals because they can take hundreds or even thousands of years to break down. The coating on nonstick pans can degrade when it's heated above 500 degrees Fahrenheit, emitting vapors that fuel Teflon flu. Who who is who is cooking on like super high though? I'm Anywho. Zachary Hudson, an associate professor of chemistry at the University of British Columbia, explains to the Washington Post, it'll burn and release very complex mixes of oxidized and fluorinated substances. This is why they tell you don't heat your Teflon pan to a high temperature. Well, I mean, yeah. In one German study, researchers recorded PFAS emissions from heating empty nonstick pans for 30 minutes. The higher the temperatures, the higher the emissions. There's no risk to human health at normal application temperatures, the researchers wrote in their findings. A U.S. Food and Drug Administration spokesperson told Washington Post the agency is unaware of any research showing that PFASs used in nonstick cookware presents a safety concern for consumers. Then why write a scare article about, this dangerous new thing that you can get like Teflon flu? Good evening, Ghost Fox. All substances used in food contact products are subjected to rigorous scientific review by FDA scientists. Polymer fume fever is typically characterized by a fever, muscle pain, shortness of breath, and a headache. Symptoms, which are temporary, generally start within 12 hours of exposure but can take 24 hours to develop. Experts believe the illness may be drastically underreported as people confuse their symptoms with the common cold or flu. An average of 9 cases a year were reported to U.S. poison control centers between 2006 and 2012, according to government data. Birds are acutely sensitive to toxic fumes, which is why canaries were used to detect carbon monoxide and other dangerous gases in coal mines. Fumes from overheating PTFE coated pans can be lethal to them. Teflon manufacturers advise bird owners to keep them out of the kitchen while cooking. How to use nonstick pans. Do not preheat your nonstick pan. Do not broil. Circulate the air, and do not use stainless steel or hard utensils on nonstick pans. I thought that was self-explanatory to not use metal, but okay. And if your pans look like this, if you can treat yourself to one new pan a day, a payday, don't maybe do that. Australian research finds that one single scratch on a pan coated with Teflon can release as many as 9,100 plastic particles. However, it's believed that inhaling fumes from overheated pans are more dangerous than ingesting the coating because it travels through your body without being absorbed. Still, experts say when your, pans that are treated with nonstick spray are starting to show signs of scratching, peeling, or flaking, you should trade it in. Now, they can persist in the human body and cause a host of health problems, but, what are you going to do? You might be best just their last line. It may be best to just avoid nonstick altogether, choosing cast iron, stainless steel, or ceramic options instead. There you go. In other news, investigators believe a woman's accused unaliver drove to the graveyard after killing her somewhere else. Authorities probing the death of a woman whose, very badly broken up body was found in her car in a Mississippi cemetery, believe she might have been unalived in another county by her ex-boyfriend, who was erroneously released from custody while awaiting trial on earlier charges of alleging to, lay hands on her. Lauren Johansson, 22, may have been unalived in Forest County, Mississippi, the county sheriff's Charlie Sims told local NBC and ABC affiliate WDAM. Bryson Rivers, 23, Johansson's ex-boyfriend, faces charges in the unaliving. Initially, Harrison County recovered the body, arrested the suspect, and it was thought that the crime possibly was committed down there, Sims said. But the outlet reported since that time, more and more evidence has come to light, and indicators are that the actual, murder scene might have happened somewhere in Forest County. Sims did not reveal details about the unaliving, but told the station that multiple law enforcement agencies are piecing together the case across jurisdictions. As Law and Crime has reported, authorities said the timeline of events leading to the discovery of Johansson's body stretches back to December 2023 when Rivers allegedly laid hands on her while the couple was vacationing in Nashville. He was arrested and charged with 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping, 1 count of aggravated stalking, and 1 count of coercion of a witness. The defendant's bail was reduced from $251,000 to $150,000, and he was ultimately released on June 24th, despite the victim's father begging the judge to keep him locked up, fearing Rivers would ultimately unalive her. I told the court, I told the DA, and the judge that he would unalive her if they let him out. Her father, Lance Johnson, wrote in a GoFundMe page. The jail released him after hours without the court ordered ankle monitor. He was let loose onto the street. His worst fears were realized after he received a message from the Davidson County District Attorney's Office on July 1st telling him that Rivers was out of jail. This is Bailey calling the district attorney's office in Nashville. Bryson Rivers was released from custody. He's supposed to report straight to a GPS company and be put on a GPS monitor. He was not to leave Davidson County, the recording that aired on a local ABC CBS affiliate, WLOX News said. But as soon as he was released, he did not report to that GPS monitoring company, and he's not been heard from. I wanted to make sure Lauren is safe. Investigators found Johansson's body on July 3rd via her vehicle's OnStar system at Wolf River Cemetery in Gulfport, Mississippi, after her family had reported her missing. When we got there, her car was in the middle of the cemetery, and she was in the back of the car wrapped up in sheets and trash bags. She was basically laid hands on to death. Lance Johansson told WLOX. It was pretty brutal. It was pretty brutal, and unfortunately, the dad had to help her lift the body out of the car, and I can only imagine how heart-wrenching, how terrible that must have been. Officers responding to the location on a welfare check also spotted Rivers running from her vehicle into the woods, where he was ultimately captured hours later. More light has been shed on the details, meanwhile, about Rivers' release. The Davidson County Clerk's office admitted to mistakenly signing off on a document allowing Rivers to get out of jail without supervision. Chief Deputy Clerk Julius Sloss said in an interview with Nashville NBC affiliate WSMV. In this particular incident, our employee made the mistake where he did the reconnaissance part right, but when he sent the release over, the release unfortunately did not contain the conditions of the bond, Sloss told WSMV's reporter Marissa Sulik. Without elaborating, Sloss told the same TV station that the employee who made a mistake would face disciplinary action. He did not immediately respond to requests for further comment, though. John Adams, communication director at the Davidson County Sheriff's Office, said the release order from the courts was a standard bond out and did not specify GPS was a condition of release, the Biloxi Sun-Herald reported. He said Rivers was released to himself and was responsible for contacting his bonding agent. Lance Johansson minced no words on his take of what happened. Quote, anyone in their right mind would know a savage animal like this would have an ankle monitor put on in jail, he told WLOX. Rivers, who's being held in the Harrison County Jail with a bail set at $1 million, is set to appear in court on July 31st. Online court dockets show. Yeah, this judge is absolutely negligent. How can you let someone go with these kind of things and expect him to be any sort of honest, and he's going to get, the ankle monitor and everything else? It's not going to happen. In sad news, take your hats off if you have them on. The Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile has crashed. It is a sad day in hot dog land. Oscar Mayer Wienermobile flips onto its side after a crash along a suburban Chicago highway. I mean, come on, 2024. We can't even have the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. It's just terrible. We just can't have nice things. And an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile got into a pickle on a Chicago highway. The hot dog shaped Wienermobile hit a car Monday morning along Interstate 294. Can you imagine being on the phone with Allstate? Hello? Yes, I got rear-ended. Okay, what kind of car? The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile? Okay, really, what did you get rear-ended by? No, it's on the news right now, just click on. It'll be, "Yep, that's me, waving right at you from my TV. Okay, can you process my claim now?" Uh, the driver lost control and overcorrected, causing it to roll on its side near the Chicago suburb of Oak Brook, Illinois State Police said. No injuries were reported after the crash, which prompted the closure of the right lane of the northbound I-294 for more than an hour, officials said. No, a spokesperson for the Oscar Mayer brand, which has several Wienermobiles, has a whole herd of Wienermobiles, told the Chicago Sun-Times that it's grateful everyone involved is safe and there were no injuries. Videos from the crash showed that the yellow and orange Wienermobile was later hauled away on a flatbed truck with apparent visible damage on part of the vehicle. Well, there you go. At least they had another one in the wings. What would we have done without the and in our final but most important story of the night, because I'm joking, what the heck is our world? In a feat that astounds millions, or just me, a Nigerian man twerks for 3 hours and 30 minutes. I'm sure for world peace or something. Let's see here. And we can see him twerk. We cannot hear him because it's TikTok, and I'm sure they have. That's twerking? Why did I think it was a faster dance? Well, I mean, I you guys know how down I am with the new cultural generation. But I thought twerking was generally more energetic than that, but okay. A Nigerian man shook his backside for 3 hours and 30 minutes to break a Guinness World Record for the longest duration of twerking. Because why not? YOLO. Oh my god, what is this name? All right, we're gonna try this. Uh, Babajidi, Israel Abanjo took the challenge to raise awareness about depression and the importance of mental health. I'm twerking away I'm twerking away my depression. Okay, I'm not saying, but, if you twerk for 3 hours, it doesn't have to have, you know, a reason behind it. It's just say you like to twerk. Uh, let's see. He received word from the Guinness World Records that his January dancing marathon had officially earned him the title. I am sure World Star TV will be coming up with his challengers very soon. We are beyond thrilled to announce that our record-breaking achievement has officially been recognized by the Guinness World Records, Dave wrote on his TikTok account, where he posted the video of himself opening the acceptance email from the record keeping organization. The post thanked everyone who supported Dave as he took the challenge. We are incredibly proud to have set a new standard in twerking. A new standard in twerking. Look, that was old twerking, and this is classy twerking. What? We couldn't have done it without your energy, enthusiasm, and support, he wrote. You guys, I can't. We take nothing serious that is serious and elevate things that are dumb and stupid like this. We have we have set a new standard in twerking. I give up. Oh, no. My hips are solidly welded to my spine like a very, very, very non-talented dancing person. It just it could happen. I This world is has put its, crazy on 11. I did not, have well, boy or teen boys seeking perms, Colombian bullfighters upset, cocaine sharks, and the Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile, laying down on the job. I mean, really. Oh, good lord. Oh my gosh, we need to remake that. Yes, we do. Anywho, guys, have a wonderful evening. I will see you in the morning. We might do a little bit more of, or I might do a little bit more of the hearing from today. So this will be the second day of congressional hearings with the police. If I can stand the bloviating and the generally just not talking about anything or getting anything done. But I will try to get that going up tomorrow, and I will see you guys. Have a great evening. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and, stay away from cocaine sharks, I guess. Cocaine sharks.